I don't know if Dandy is dead or alive until I look inside the box. Hello folks, fellas and or females. Shut up. Hello folks, fellas and or females. I'm Dandy. Hope you're having a good day, night, evening, afternoon, or other period of time incomprehensible more kind. So, Biograft. The titular glass kill. Wait, is that a hyper wizard? Alright, sorry about that. Where was I? Right, Biograft. The titular glass cannon of fighting. Now, if you thought skateboard was the ADHD class, then you're wrong. He's the autism class. This is the ADHD class. Bio is actually a deceptively simple character once you actually understand how it works. So, let's hop into it, yeah? Its passive, Power of Biograft, puts a small meter in the middle of your screen, which I'll be referring to as the heat meter for the rest of this video. Your M1s charge the meter every swing, and hitting enemies increases your M1 attack speed. If your heat meter is filled, it's reset, you can't M1 for a quick second, and you let out an explosion that does damage to both you and nearby enemies. If your heat meter drains to 0, you lose the attack speed bonus for your M1. It's recommended not to let the meter fill, because, well, then you both take damage and lose that attack speed bonus, so it's best to just attack in bursts once your attack speed gets high enough. Its M1, Dual Swing, has it swinging the Biograft ahead of itself, doing a tiny bit of damage and blinking it forward a very small amount. It's recommended you hold this down constantly while out of combat because, well, without hitting enemies, your heat meter won't fill up, so you'll just be blinking forward with no drawback. Its M2, Slash the Storm, has you throw out a little projectile that, when it hits an enemy's surface, or just reaches the maximum distance, does a bunch of damage around itself. The range is pretty short, so it's best used as kind of like extra damage while you're already mauling someone. Its Q, Echo Execution, has you shoot a little beam that does pretty negligible damage, to be honest, but you can reuse it after hitting an enemy to teleport to said enemy, doing, again, pretty small damage. However, if the enemy you teleport to has low health, you'll insta-kill him. The threshold of low health being met will be signaled by a buzzer sound. Its E, Blink, has you dash forward with a max of 2 charges. Hitting enemies does a bit of damage as well as replenishing a charge up to 2 times, giving a max of 4 charges for it. This alone doesn't do much damage, so it's kind of like Sword's E, where it's best used for mobility and utility purposes. Its finisher, Overdrive, turns you from a pitbull with rabies to a pitbull on steroids and adrenaline. Your heat meter doesn't matter. Your attack speed set to max. Your damage increased, and your ability to utterly destroy the enemy team fully realized. You become an unstoppable god of destruction. Well, except for the fact that you are constantly and rapidly draining HP, and the ult itself is on a timer. Killing enemies gives you a bit of shield and increases that timer, and when it runs out, or you just use the ability again, you let out an explosion around you, dealing damage based on how low you are, your attack speed and damage is set back to normal, and you stop taking constant damage. There's a lot of technical knowledge here, but just look at the background footage again for a general basis on what it does. Alright baby, let's move on to tips. Woo! 1. You are a glass cannon. You'll do a lot of damage, but you won't be able to take any of it. So don't stay near the enemy team any longer than you have to in order to kill that one med kit or whatever. 2. You're best at picking off lone targets. Team fights are not your thing. Wait, isn't this like exactly like skateboard? It's fast, does a lot of burst damage, not good at team fights, picks off support. Oh my god, it's literally just skateboard. 3. Tanks are your worst enemy. The most you can do to them is chip damage with your M2 and E, and executing them when the rest of your team gets them low. Do not approach a tank in one-on-one combat unless they're at like 40 health or something. 4. Because your health is so low, you're likely to die. A lot. So if you know you're about to die, just go ahead and try and take someone out with you instead of running away. 5. Your ult is best used in combination with the rest of your team. Because you get shield and an increased timer on kill, if your team can get a lot of enemies low, With something like a sword ult, for example, you can swoop in and deal the finishing blow to him with your ult. Finally, it's over! Ugh. So, that's Biograft. I know his kit sounds complex, but once you really get into the game, it's pretty easy to understand. Now next is... No, not this early! Why, Lord? Why?